The grocery store world is conspiring to help you. Hi, this is Paul Edgewater, CMO of Busy Bee Promotions, and this is sales tip number 3. You're in the right place. Over the years, I've had a lot of different sales jobs, and one of the most challenging ones was being a door-to-door vacuum cleaner sales representative for Kirby. Now, Kirby's a great machine, and it's worth every penny, but it was a tough gig. Back in those days, there was no internet or any high-tech way of getting leads. So you'd have to canvass a neighborhood, which is another way of saying you're going door to door, knocking on doors, ringing doorbells, and asking to be let in. Now, at best, when somebody would answer the door, they would look at me and think, this is a salesman. That's the best scenario. And most of the time, they weren't really in the mood to get a pitch, especially at home, especially uninvited and not planned for. At worst, I could be a serial killer. They didn't know who I was, so a lot of times people didn't even answer the door. What I'm trying to say is this was a tough way to speak to prospects, all right? Now, when I was able to make the presentation and make the case for this machine, it wasn't an easy sell, but I could sell it. Just getting to speak to people, that was the hard part. And after a while, I didn't want to be in that situation anymore, so I started selling cars. Now, cars cost more than vacuum cleaners, even expensive vacuum cleaners. But the difference was the dynamic on how I would speak to people and how I would get those leads, prospects. They came into my world. I was in the showroom. I was with the cars. They parked in the parking lot and came in. They were inviting the conversation. That made a huge difference. A huge difference, because now it's not an issue of, hey, who's this person who's daring to knock on my door? It's an open door now to speak to them about cars. But even with that dynamic being established that I could speak to these people, I could also spend an entire afternoon with somebody and have them just tell me, I'm gonna think about it. Because some people are kicking tires, some people are bored on a Saturday and just want to go on a test drive in a nice new car, and that's what it really comes down to. Why all this setup for grocery stores? Well, grocery stores are like a car dealership in that everybody's coming to the store to shop. The difference is everybody that's coming into a grocery store is going to leave with something, all right? Nobody is kicking the tires, nobody's window shopping at a grocery store. They're gonna buy something, and it might as well be something that you're demoing. You're in the right place. You're speaking to the right people. And if you believe in what you're demoing, which you should, you're demoing the right stuff, all right? Now, studies have shown that even people with lists will leave the store with items they weren't planning on buying. In fact, 70% of what ends up in somebody's cart usually is not planned for. That means that when you're speaking to them about what you're demoing, it doesn't matter if they had no intention of buying it, there's a 70% chance they're going to. Sales tip number 3 is really a state of mind. Whenever things get tough and you're having a hard time selling or speaking to people when you're in a grocery store, remember, you're in the right place and you're speaking to the right people and you're demoing the right stuff. You're not going door to door in the middle of the winter trying to get perfect strangers to part with thousands of dollars for something they might not need. And that's sales tip number 3. If you found it useful, please like and share, and maybe even subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And if you'd like to talk to me about speaking to your group, I would love that opportunity too. Just email me at paul@busybeepromotions.com and we can chit chat. Thank you very much and have a great day.